So we'll go ahead and get started. So we'll go ahead and get started with today. And ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was just looking at the next.
Okay. Well, we'll be using that today for our O3. So I know that we talked during your evaluations of making sure that like your effort and your intentional internalization actually transfers to student results. And today I wanted to work on that, particularly with your math instruction. So I think just some positive things that are happening in your classroom. So I've already talked about your lessons are highly internalized. You have like very clear models during your class. I also think you're doing a really good job of cold calling scholars. So from the video that I saw from last week, you're doing a good job of cold calling scholars to repeat to you the steps in the model and to ask them questions to just see if they were paying attention and to clear up any misunderstandings. Also, the class is much calmer, so we've talked about just your environment as a whole. Scholars are definitely behaving a lot better during math.
Yesterday was an exception, but overall,
I think overall, I mean,
yesterday was.
Yeah, there's going to be, up and down days, but like overall, the behavior in math, just during math meetings, during your model, during even your guided practice, the level of compliance is going up, and the amount of scholars on task is significantly going up, and you'll be able to see just how many students you're able to have on task during this lesson, which was a high amount, especially when you released them to work independently. They were doing a good job. I would say you had anywhere between like 85 to 90% at any one point on task. I also think you're doing a good job of breaking up models into chunks so that scholars don't have to necessarily just sit and starve the whole time. Like they have an opportunity to participate in a model, which I also think helps with the behavior. Lastly, I think you're doing a lot better with just positivity. I saw in this video how you were using stickers as incentives, verbal praise of scholars as they were working independently, just to keep them on track and to keep them motivated. So I think you're doing just a really good job with a lot of things. So I'm looking forward to like your next action step, which I feel like is going to move you forward quickly and get the achievement results that I know you're working hard to get. And what I want to talk to you about this week is aggressive monitoring. I know we talked a little bit about that during your evaluation, and I told you we were going to pick up with aggressive monitoring most likely when we had our O3. So I want to talk about aggressive monitoring, and that is just making sure that you are very well aware of what scholars are doing, like they're following the behavioral expectations, and you have a strategic way of checking for that, a strategic way of checking to make sure that they're executing the steps in your model effectively, and that any trends that you see or misconceptions you see are addressed right away and you can clear them up. So we're going to work on aggressive monitoring. The action step will probably take more than 1 week. So we're going to start with a small part today, and we're going to progressively work on it to the point where we feel like your classroom is in like a strong place for aggressive monitoring, and you're seeing that student results are going up as a result of your ability to monitor their work, give feedback, and drive results, and actually like probably will even help leverage your intervention time, if that makes sense. So today I want to start with just a first step in aggressive monitoring, and I have a video of a teacher, of an uncommon teacher who is using aggressive monitoring in her classroom. And what I want you to notice is what is in this teacher's hand as she's monitoring, what's effective about her circulation of her class. And then like the last question I want you to think of is how do you think she sets scholars up for behavioral success during this monitoring?
A redirection for Jemiah, a redirection for CERN, a redirection for Komori. So with Jemiah, she dropped her pencil, but then was like down there too long. So I think I should have, but I don't think that was like a malicious, like not compliant. So I think I should have said like Jemiah, you're still tracking.
Yeah, or even Jemiah acts.
Okay.
Great work, sweetheart. Rest of purple, can you turn that to number 1 and 2, please?
And Maury, again, his was not, it was like he was talking to the paper and he was distracted. It was like Maury hands. And then knowing Maury, if he's like,
How do you know it was these additions?
and then as an escalation for hyperlipidemia by Comorin.
I'm sorry, can you keep it up? Blue row numbers 1 and 2, please. Great work, Slanteri, and that's a really nice job showing your work. Nice job, Mr. Marcelin. Nice job even showing your work for that.
I wanted to think for a second. I wanted to think about like transition and so I was thinking possibly
Super job, Felicia.
Yes. Okay, 100%.
cool. So what's the most common error
Try that one again. Area is. Say it. What did you do?
The lineup itself,
Fix it.
from desks to the line, is super silent because they're motivated about who goes by first. Once they get in line,
Next time, do this on the
We are
outside because otherwise it's confusing to the person reading your test of what exactly you're doing. Really nice job finding this inside and showing your work. Good. Good.
it's a lot of the like.
So what do you need to do first before you write out a number
Like somebody
sentence?
jumped to me, that sort of thing. It's not like just like hey, you.
So keep
It's
on
usually
finding the
complaints
missing
about
side and you'll rock
physical
it.
space being required.
Nice job, Daniela.
So
Keep going. And good job on that one. So if this is 80 and this is 20, is that your answer? What do you need to do to 80 and 20?
That's awesome.
You like it? You want me to send it to you to keep forever?
Yes, please send it to me.
All right, so you just saw an awesome video of aggressive monitoring. So just to go back to the questions, what was in the teacher's hand as she was marking?
She had a pen, and then later I also saw she had a clipboard that probably had the kid's name on it, and she was marking, like, I think she only really marked the kids who got it wrong, just because she didn't, like, need to take the time to mark it down and, like, what their misconception was. So, pen, clipboard.
Yeah, I mean, she may want to use that like later on during intervention, the data from that. And then what about her circulation? What did you notice about
This was so cool. I want to do this. She did the row at a time. So she was like, purple row, and they knew to expect it. So, like, instead of kids, like, I have kids, like, wait after each page, which, like, works, but then I'm bouncing all around, which makes it really hard for me to keep them quiet. So it's like they just keep going, and then they know, like, when you come, she said purple row, turn to 1 and 2, so they turn back to 1 and 2, and then she checked everyone at the same time, which was easier for her. And, like, if she's going row by row, she's going to go back and catch any mistakes. She probably started with a row that maybe needs to be looked at first, or maybe she started with a row that was higher, probably higher, just because, like, she can do them fast. But I thought that was really cool because kids, like, knew what to expect, and then they didn't need to stop working for a long time. They only stopped working when she was like, turn around, I'm gonna come by and check your work, and then you can get working. So I thought that was awesome.
And so I do think that great that you noticed that in her hand she had her pen because she was like marking up and giving feedback with her pen. And then also noting probably misconceptions so that she could go back and work on it later during intervention.
Yeah. She gave both positive feedback and then also like what they needed to do.
Yeah.
So
And that feedback was fast, right? So it was just like she may have asked a probing question to try and get them to the right thing. She just said, good job if they did something right, and told me good job for showing this strategy. And which I actually noticed you doing elements of that. But I think this was like a really clear way to like see
And it's
how you can do it
concise.
concise
Yeah.
and quickly.
Can I ask a quick question?
What
What do you like? And maybe this can be for a conversation another time. But like, if you get to a scholar, because a lot of times, like, I'll get to a scholar who just is like really off, and like obviously that would be like an intervention thing. So how do I like keep them moving but not spend too much time with them? Because I feel like I can give quick feedback for kids who are like higher, kids who are lower are like, wait, what? And then they don't know what to do.
Yeah, and that's part of why your action step is to aggressively monitor and like see how her circulation works. And what you noticed that was good was that she probably went to scholars who were higher so she could help them fast. Because when you get to a scholar who needs more help, you can spend more time because the rest of them are off to a good start.
Yeah,
And they've had
okay.
feedback from you, which is very helpful. for them, because sometimes, especially in first grade, they're like seeking attention.
Yeah.
A lot of times, and if they know like, oh, Miss Golly noticed me, I'm doing good, I have my sticker already, I can keep working because I'm doing the right thing. When you get to Adonis or you get to Lamar, because I know they'll struggle, you can spend more time, but you have your whole class is like definitely has like things to work on and continue to work on.
Okay.
So yeah. And I also think I want you to think about, so just to get to all of these things where it's quick feedback, it's quick circulation, you can get to scholars who like need deeper help from you. I want to think about like the first step of aggressive monitoring. So how do you think she set scholars up for their behavioral success? Because there was no behavior in that classroom.
Well, I think she had to be probably pretty like naming of what she was gonna do, like as you're working, like what they're supposed to be doing. So like your eyes are on your paper, your pencil's moving, your sound is off. Like you're gonna wait for me. Like you're gonna keep working until I come to you. So like nobody's raising their hand yet. Everyone's continuing to work until I get through everybody. Giving them the expectation that like it's not the time to raise your hand. Like right now, do your best work. When I come to your row, like I'll ask you to turn to a certain problem. You can show it to me, and like then we can talk. I think like you have to be pretty like transparent with that so that kids know, because I feel like a lot of kids are always like, I finished, and you're like, no, I'm gonna come to you, like keep going. Like I'm really excited to see like how far you do get, like how well you are working. So her kids definitely knew that. I don't know what she necessarily told her kids who struggle. Like if you struggle, like what your plan is to do, I guess just like keep trying. I tell my kids like mistakes are proof that you're trying. Like as long as you're trying something, like that's fine. Like don't get stuck.
I think to tell them to keep trying, and the fact that she's so quick with her circulation is not a long time before she gets to them. So I wanted to look at yours. So we saw that in this model it was effective that she had her pen in her hand, she had a clipboard, she gave quick, concise feedback on what they did wrong and what they did well, and that the behavior in the class was great. Scholars like continue to work no matter what. And we want that to start happening in your class, specifically like the behavioral piece, no matter what. And I want us to look at your monitoring your circulation, and I want you to think about what were some differences between what you did and what the teacher did in the video. And I think I need to start you at the around the 7-minute mark.
Consistent consequences for it. Every single time, and we learn a replacement behavior. Right? So like his replacement behavior should be like if he gets a check, like he wants to know why he got a check, like he raises his hand and he waits until he he raises his hand and waits until you're like done with the group, and then you can come and explain it to him. Right? If he's not doing that, if he's tampering because he gets a check, like so like it's a learned
I think
behavior.
like, and one of like my contributions to that cycle is like I get so desperate to talk them down because I'm like, we have places to be. And I'm like, you can't have a tantrum right now. Like, don't do it. It's not an option.
I would do
Did yesterday, just with more numbers, bigger numbers.
hallway, like you can at least be like I need to make
Love
this
when
teacher
you're
like it's
researching something
an
all
emergency,
day.
like we need to
Together, you gotta support data, stay so many things.
you know, like somebody knows where you're headed, and they can meet you there.
Okay, great.
What is our final answer, Cameron? Excellent, Stephanie. Nice, very done. We're on set camera some shine. Send yourself some shine if you got that as well. You counted on, you would have gotten to 92. Give yourself a little smiley face. Then are you looking at 392, my friend? Now,
And
the next
the
problem
last
says
thing,
34 plus
just
59.
two like quick hits for
Let's
you.
see if you can use that on your own.
Like I said, I think
Just
generally
like you did
compliance is
yesterday.
getting much higher than that. I think there's two key behaviors to
Space is
spot
smaller,
right
so
now in
make
the
sure
app,
you're
and the
staying
first is sitting
neat.
in their chairs. Because it's just gonna make it like it will. I mean, honestly, it's like a little behavior, but like when
Tuck your chair all the way in.
sitting on chairs, they're kind of forced to pay attention. Like they
Yeah.
can't
Got it.
do
We're doing this next one.
because they're tucked in as opposed to like splaying out everywhere. So I think it will make a difference
Sure,
if the
baby.
room looks at it as like. And the last thing is what you were trying to sweat today. So just
Down this morning, Shan.
So, as you saw this model of you monitoring your class and like giving them independent practice, what did you notice that were some differences or some gaps between what you saw in the model video?
I didn't have a set path, so like I was just kind of walking around and looking. I think it was like the first one they did. It was still technically part of guide.